Wolverine claws. They've got their handles, their shaping, but not their heat treat, not their handles. But this alone was a significant job. Each part hand carved, including the screws. This is my new favorite steel. Comes from a rock sled. Stacked leather handle, brass furniture, and like a mortise and tenon. Never done one of those before. The whole idea was to make this piece, carve it just small so it wouldn't fit on, and then heat it up really hot and let it cool down in place. I'm happy with that fitting. Tsuba for my sword, as I haven't made my full sword yet. This is fun. I've learned with this one, this is just iron. This was my own challenge of doing a one-day build. No, it is a one-day build and it's wonderful. I've learned about a new tool to soften these angles, to put this edge on, use a hammer to roll up those edges. That also makes for very sharp edges to catch your fingers on. Lessons learned, haven't gone back and fixed that yet. Kakut. I want to revisit it with a high carbon steel to make this band much smaller and to make these teeth much finer and in essence, much sharper. That I feel this is decent for pressure points, but the style that I've just imagined would be a lot more effective. My everyday carry got updated this year. Purple Heart handle is my just favorite. And this was a new steel found on the property that is, well, it's really dense and it takes a while to put that edge on, but once that edge is in place, it holds nice and tight. Something I've been imagining for so long, Ryobari Shuriken. This was to replace my batarangs because they're the largest throwing blade that I have with the largest amount of mass. These take up that point quite well, almost too well for as sharp as they are, so that made me really happy. Tetsubishi. These things are lethal. They are nasty. They are gorgeous. This took a lot longer than I imagined, but it was an interesting lesson. Not so much on how long it took, but on warfare when you are completely outnumbered. How can you maximize what little resources and put them to great effect? Blinding powder, where you just crush, throw in the faces. I can speak of 2026, that this will be tested has been requested numerous times, and it's a fun question. What would happen if this was tied to the end of a string and you look to break it on impact upon your adversary's body to blind them for a moment? Would that work? Tale of Nine, which was just taking that Tetsubishi, the Caltrops, and adding a bit of string to, one, better hold on to them, have the chance of making traps, utilizing traps, and having a flexible tool. In all the manuals, it's all this really tiny string that's used. And it's not string, it is definitely cord, it's rope. Now this, the one that I've just shown, that's out of a cotton twine that's got a really heavy draw weight. This is upholstery thread that I've weaved together. It's so much tighter to actually hold on to. But I like it, and it means my braiding techniques are getting better. These are ones that the temper wasn't right, or the heat treat was too strong. As I know myself, the heat treat was too strong. For these two come from these. Broken, which I want to share. This is not my wisdom, it comes from another. It was the story of Miyamoto Musashi. It was the time when he was practicing his zazen in the caves. One of his students had come to him. He had carved multiple staves and wanted to confirm with his master what was the best way to see if these staves were strong, if they could take an impact. The student recounts the story that Musashi Sensei didn't state anything. He just got up and picked up each one of the staves, one by one, smashing them on the ground. By the end of it, about half remained. He went back to zazen, saying nothing. I like that story for multiple reasons, but the one I'm doing now, there's something very satisfying and scary about when you test these, and let's see if it works. If they survive, you know that you've done a good job, and we can learn from the ones, not so great. And then lastly, the tool of 2025, this very simple scythe. This is the tool responsible for me wearing band-aids on this hand, on these two fingers for as long as I needed. It's harvested a lot of cutting bales already, and it's going to harvest a lot more. The most exciting thing upon this tool, I was able to cut in this direction all right. My technique needs to be upgraded. But in the upward direction, I'm not saying my technique can't grow. Of course it can grow. But that was really, I'm not going to say easy, but it was easy. This thing is sharp. And I know it's scary sharp, but I think that's part of that ease. Now with those 12-ish items shown, I feel that I need a category of honorary. One of which is the kanabo, which we're getting closer and closer and closer, but it's not there yet. As many of you commented, and I thank you, about the size, it's too big. It's too big for what the piece I'm copying it from. This is at a part that I like now. Next part is to take almost 3/4 to an inch off of each side. Well, that's half of an inch in each side if I want to actually show the math properly. But I can't actually count that in this year's fully finished items because it's not completely together. This, I should still be able to count on its own. These are a handful of what make up 88 nails that will be hammered into the kanabo. We know what we've got to finish up in 2026. These are still my favorite things ever. Thank you very much, everyone. The new members are up on the board, and I'm going to shut up and get back to work. Oh, Happy New Year. Thank you to Queen and Grail, our Mongetsu members. Gwyn, Ninja Clan, Devin Winburn, Ninja, and all of our shinobi.